Hello everyone. Today we're going to be covering, in chapter 2, we're going to be covering paragraphs 4, and we'll see how far we can get today. I shall begin. This feeling, this is number 4, excuse me. This feeling makes us strive to bridge over this antithesis, and in this bridging lies ultimately the whole spiritual striving of mankind. The history of our spiritual life is a continued search for the unity between ourselves and the world. Religion, art, and science follow, one and all, this aim. The religious believer seeks in the revelation which God grants him the solution to the universal riddle which his eye, dissatisfied with the world of mere appearance, sets before him. The artist seeks to embody in his material the ideas that are in his eye, in order to reconcile what lives in him with the world outside. He too feels dissatisfied with the world of mere appearance, and seeks to mold into it that something more which his eye, transcending it, contains. The thinker seeks the laws of phenomena and strives to penetrate by thinking what he experiences by observing. Only when we have made the world content into our thought content do we again find the unity out of which we had separated ourselves. We shall see later that this goal can be reached only if the task of the research scientist is conceived at a much deeper level than is often the case. The whole situation I have described here presents itself to us on the stage of history in the conflict between the one world theory or monism and the two world theory or dualism. Dualism pays attention only to the separation between I and world, which the consciousness of man has brought about. All its efforts consist in a vain struggle to reconcile these opposites, which it now calls spirit and matter, now subject and object, now thinking and appearance. It feels that there must be a bridge between the two worlds, but is not in a position to find it. In that man is aware of himself as I. He cannot but think of this I as being on the side of the spirit. And in contrasting this I with the world, he is bound to put on the world's side the realm of percepts given to the senses, that is, the world of matter. In doing so, man puts himself right into the middle of the antithesis of spirit and matter. He is the more compelled to do so because his own body belongs to the material world. Thus the I, or ego, belongs to the realm of spirit as part of it. The material objects and events which are perceived by the senses belong to the world. All the riddles which relate to spirit and matter, man must inevitably rediscover in the fundamental riddle of his own nature. Monism pays attention only to the unity and tries either to deny or to slur over the opposites, present though they are. Neither of these two points of view can satisfy us, for they do not do justice to the facts. Dualism sees in spirit, I, and matter, world, two fundamentally different entities, and cannot, therefore, understand how they can interact with one another. How should spirit be aware of what goes on in matter, seeing that the essential nature of matter is quite alien to spirit? Or how, in these circumstances, should spirit act upon matter, so as to translate its intention into actions? The most ingenious and the most absurd hypothesis has been propounded to answer these questions. Up to the present, however, monism is not in a much better position. It has tried 3 different ways of meeting the difficulty. Either it denies spirit and becomes materialism, or it denies matter in order to seek its salvation in spiritualism, or it asserts that even in the simplest entities in the world, Spirit and matter are indissolubly bound together, so that there is no need to marvel at the appearance in man of these two modes of existence, seeing that they are never found apart. The summary for that is, spiritually, humans strive to bridge the opposition by searching for the unity between I and the world. For example, monism seeks to deny or erase the opposites, while dualism seeks to reconcile the opposites. However, it is only when we have made the world content into our thought content that we will rediscover the connection from which we have sundered ourselves. Some points I've underlined in this section is that the history of our spiritual life is a continuing search for the unity between ourselves and the world. And I do believe Steiner makes obviously a valid point in how religion, art, and science are all aiming for the same thing. Religion is aiming for something particular, art is aiming for something particular, science is, looking for something, but they all have in common is that they're continuously searching for something to unite us. And that's what science is. It's seeking to better understand the world, and so that when we gain knowledge, and when people do these science research and whatnot, it makes us feel like we're becoming better with the world, like we're becoming more one with the universe in its own unique way. And the same thing with religion, and as an artist, it's all the same as far as I'm concerned. There's this continuing search for unity, and that is, I think, a very important point in our search for knowledge, which is what this chapter is about, our fundamental desire for knowledge. And that's what those three streams all have in common, is just this yearning for unity. I think in this paragraph you must really get the concept of monism and dualism. I've taken philosophy in university, so I'm very familiar with this concept. Dualism is, again, you're only paying attention to the separation between I and the world, and monism pays attention only to the unity. So monism, think of one, and then dualism, it's me and the world, me against the world, whatever. Monism is seeking, the one theory. I think I'm going to stop that there. We have there's 14 paragraphs in this chapter, so hopefully we'll cover more ground. Paragraph 4 is very long, so make sure you get those in your head, the concepts of what dualism and monism is, because those are important concepts. So I will see you all later.